For this year, Benelli came out with the smallest member of the BN family. This is the BN125, which is a relatively special bike in the Italian company's range, or we should rather say Chinese Italian company's range, because this Benelli is technically and basically a Keeway motorbike, which is redesigned or redressed to look like a Benelli BN. Let's check out if it is more or less a Chinese or Italian motorbike and how it is taking place in the Benelli's range. The engine is coming directly from Keeway, so this is a Chinese technology. Here all the numbers are very important. The maximum power is 11.5 brake horsepower, and the torque of the engine is 10.6 Newton meter. It means that this is enough for city, pre-city use or shorter motorbike tours. We could make a short comparison with the CBR 125 Honda, and after the comparison we can say that in the low and mid RPM range this engine is weaker and less powerful, if we can use this word at all, than the Japanese one, but in the higher RPMs it's more powerful and more dynamic. So the bike is good for short motorbike tours even, but not for bodies like mine. So for 100 kilos it's not going to be dynamic at all, then it is enough only inside the city. If you are, let's say, maximum 70, 75 or the top 80 kilos, then for one person it's going to be enough for even short tours. The bike's exhaust system is finishing in a pretty nice pipe. The sound is, well, we cannot say too nice or too sporty, but not sounding that very bad. I don't know how much a tuning exhaust pipe could give to it. The front suspension is one of the parts of the motorbike which are, we can surely say, not Chinese, because this is an upside down telescopic fork. The width is 35 millimeter, the travel is 125 millimeter, and it's really working pretty well. The brakes are also interesting because Benelli, just as Keeway, for the 125 category don't give ABS, only a CBS, a combined brake system, which means that from the handbrake the fluid is coming down, and here from the 3 pistons 2 are working, and then the fluid is going back to the rear brake, and one of the pistons from the 2 there are starting to work from the handbrake. And if we use the foot brake, then one piston is working on the rear part and one piston is working here in the front part. Altogether, the whole brake system with the 2 disc brakes, the first one is 260 millimeter and the rear one is 240 millimeter, and the whole system is working pretty well. The front tire can be blocked, I have to say, hardly. The rear one much more easy. The rear suspension is a different word. It gives you really the feeling of a Chinese motorbike, because this is designed for lighter riders. For me, with my 100 kilos, it was not comfortable enough on the Hungarian roads, but my friend who has that quite many times mentioned Honda CB125, he is 70 kilos, and for him it was comfortable, and he said that this part of the motorbike is also better than his Hondas. The BN125 seems to be a big motorbike, mainly because of the design. About the design we are going to speak a few words later on, but in the reality the bike is not big at all. The seat height is 770 millimeters, and the front part of the seat is pretty narrow, so even very short riders are going to reach the tarmac very well from the seat. And the wheelbase is pretty much shorter than 1400 millimeters, so it means that the whole bike is really a small motorbike. And even though if I am sitting on it with my 190 centimeters, you can see that this is not uncomfortable at all. I rode a few hundred kilometers inside the city and outside the city as well, and it's really comfortable. The upper body is absolutely straight. The knee angle is of course for me pretty sharp, but the place of my feet are very good here beside the fuel tank. And all in all, to ride the whole bike is really nice. Very well maneuverable because of the short wheelbase. Even among the cars, it's very easy to ride with it. Only one problem I could find are the mirrors, because this part is very long. That's why the mirrors are very wide, and it has two results. One of them is that we can see extremely well from them, very well, but as they are wide and the haze is just in one line with the SUVs and the small vans mirrors, it's always a fight to move among the cars inside the city. Maybe a mirror which can be closed down here could make it much easier. The equipment or the extras of the motorbike, if we can use this word, is pretty rich inside its own category and price category, we have to say. If we look around the handlebars, we see that the brake levels position is changeable, and you have emergency stop, you have indicators using all of them, and the button of the electric starter. Here you can start the motorbike only with the electric starter. On the left side, also my friend who has the older Honda said that this is a very good and rich thing, that the high beam can be used only for lighting as well with a different button. And if we have a look at the dashboard, that's also, we can say from one side that looking really good. It's a full LCD. On the upper part we have the RPM counter. If we start the engine, you can see that it's working very simple, only short and little lines, and when we use the throttle we can always see the RPM, but we also can hear the RPM very well. And then we have the speed we are traveling. In the downer part we have a very simple unit with the total distance and two daily distances. For example, the clock we don't have at all, but with another button we can change to English measures the whole dashboard, and back to European ones we always see the exact fuel amount we have, and we also have a gear indicator. The strongest part of the Benelli BN125 is the design of the motorbike. The whole lamp, the dashboard, the handlebar, all the plastic parts, the fuel tank, the side panels, the red tubes, the form of the silencer, and everything all around the whole motorbike is showing much more than it would be necessary because of its technical basis. So we can say that this motorbike is basically a Chinese one with a Chinese price and with very low fuel consumption, and it's really an economic motorbike, also with a good price, so you can also buy it very economically. And all the times you are walking to it, have a look at it and take a seat on it, you will have a good feeling, a much better feeling than if you buy this one only a very little bit cheaper with a Keeway name. Please push a like on the video, subscribe for our channel if you liked it, and have a look at for our other reviews as well.